Ethics directs our action and turns it to the best realization of our good, which expands it into various levels. Indeed, leading a rational life, the highest human good, requires first to be living and sensible as well as an environment. Each aspect merits the title of good, but according to a hierarchy. The lower good always wants to serve the higher. It's already evident in exterior nature, where the mineral being serves the life, and plant prepares the animal, and sensation feeds intelligence. The same hierarchy is to be found in man. His mineral elements are the base of his life. His vegetal aspect prepares his animal life. His perception feeds his intelligence. And the morality of his action opens to his speculative life. Each level is a part of the human good, the human natural good, but finds its meaning in the superior level it makes possible, and ultimately in the moral and rational goods which constitutes his happiness. Ethics becomes a counterfeit when it weighs all these goods at the same balance and prefers one to another only according to its quantity and to the number of persons concerned. With the pretension of developing a new ethics, it has been pointed out that every action carries its lot of good and bad consequences. Walking, breathing, eating are good operations, and as such, they procure goods, shelter, air, restoration, but in the same time, they destroy particles of sense, ants, air, fruits, animals. On the other part, lying, committing adultery, abortion are considered as bad actions. But eventually, they bring about a lot of good consequences. Lying eventually saves lives and even nations. Committing adultery consoles. Contraception and abortion leave the parents more available for their already born children. It has been deduced that the moral good consists in choosing the action which weighs heavier in good consequences for oneself and for a greater number of persons, as well as in rejecting the action which weighs heavier in bad consequences. On that base, true ethics has been vilified as a kind of perfectionism. Contemplation, conformity to right reason have been denounced as caprice for privileged person when not as a kind of egoism. On the contrary, this new ethics has been granted many labels felt as finely shaded: pragmatism, utilitarianism, consequentialism, situationalism, proportionalism. In truth, this rational stunt goes back to hedonism and confuses happiness with animal sensible pleasure and with escape from physical and psychological suffering. Ultimately, it denies human nature and eventually justifies every immorality because cowardice, lust, cupidity, unbridled research of sensible pleasure, contraception, abortion, always find some accidental good consequence to justify themselves.